Welcome to Old Folks Racing PS4. Welcome to Mugello with the Audi LMP 900 prototype. These are the standings before this race, with Darren Head leading the championship after winning one race in round 1 at the Red Bull Ring. The Allens follow, followed by Diogo Silva, and here we are at the magnificent circuit of Mugello for the first time in Old Folks Racing. It's going to be 12 laps of pure enjoyment and maybe, just maybe, some mayhem. Here's the prototype LMP 900 that we are running with. This is race 1, that's round 3 of the championship, but Paul Beattie has surprised everyone by being on pole position, followed by the Allens, Diogo Silva, Alonso Fonso, Diogo Almeida, and the 13 driver field. As they await, the lights go out and away they go, and it's a good start by pole sitter Paul Beattie with the very long run to turn 1. Let's see if we see any action. Paul Beattie very nicely maintains the lead, followed by the Allens, and everyone seems to have made it through turn 1 nicely, followed by this S, turn 1. Oh, someone is in the gravel already. Some drivers already losing control of their prototype. Kev Allen is in second place, followed by Simon Allen. Diogo Silva has maintained 4th. Alonso Fonso, that's Jorge Jesus, is in 5th place, and 6th is Diogo Almeida. So the top 6 pretty much maintaining their positions from qualifying, as we are now in the fastest section of the circuit. We are still in lap 1. That's the 2 Arrabbiata corners, which are very tricky, as Kev Allen is demonstrating there because he's really slow through that sequence and putting himself under pressure from Simon Allen. Already a battle for second place emerging here at the early stages of this race in Mugello. Paul Beattie, in the meantime, has checked out of pretty much everyone. He's 1.3 seconds ahead as they are now going through the last few corners of this opening lap here at Mugello with this Audi. Very tricky car to control. Also not very easy to make a clean overtake in this circuit. Not the easiest combo of circuit and car to make an overtake, unless of course you are at the very long straight that they are about to enter. It's this one, it's the start-finish straight, and here you see already Kev Allen trying to that was Diogo Silva trying to move away from Alonso Fonso's toe as he's coming under pressure from the Portuguese is coming under pressure from another Portuguese in this league as they battle for 4th place. The top 3 seem to have things under control until now, as they have opened a slight gap to Diogo Silva, around 2 seconds between Simon Allen and Diogo Silva, with Diogo Silva now more worried about defending from behind than actually attacking the 3rd place of Simon Allen. We are already in the 2nd lap, and already you see that the drivers are getting a little bit separated from one another. Let's see if anything exciting has happened towards the back. Darren Head has actually gained 1 position from Diogo Almeida. He's now 6th, so that was a change of position. Frankie is in 8th place, Scott Devil in 9th, Jumbo in 10th, Stuart Brand in 11th, Todd Antonio in 12th, and Barry Evans is in 13th and last at the moment. So pretty much they seem to have maintained more or less their positions from qualifying, with just a few minor changes. And let's see, looks like a pretty strategic race here in the making, where drivers are trying to find their rhythm. They don't want to necessarily just start messing around with each other and losing time. They're trying to see if they get to their rhythm, and then maybe at the later stage go in more attacking mode, except of course for Darren Head, who's already in attacking mode. He's in 9th position, make it 8, because he's somehow overtaken Jumbo. We haven't really seen... No, sorry, he's in 9th place. I'm sorry, there was just something strange happening with the leaderboard. And Darren Head actually was in 6th just a few moments ago. He's now in 9th and now locking up there at the entrance of the first test. Here we are on board with Darren, who is in a very unusual 9th place. Of course, he won the opening round and finished 3rd in the second race at the Red Bull Ring. So here he's finding himself in an unfamiliar position of being in the back and trying to make a bit of a recovery race. He's trying now on the inside of Jumbo, and he almost touched. They may have touched. In fact, I think that Jumbo just got a slight love tap there from Darren, but good car control from Jumbo. Nice battle here at the exit of the second Arrabbiata. Now into this very, very tricky S. And oh, someone has spun. Someone has spun. It was Scott Davely. Yes, it was. And Scott has spun and collected Jumbo. I'm not entirely sure why the camera has moved away from that incident, but Darren Head has said thank you very much and got 2 positions just in 1 corner, so back into 7th place. Although he is now a little bit making 10 seconds behind Diogo Almeida, having been in front of him just a couple of laps ago. So it's a bit of a recovery race now for Darren. Can he be quicker than Diogo in 6th place? Can he still challenge for a top 6 position before Diogo Silva, who has now actually found the back of Simon Allen? So something must have happened to Simon, because he's lost touch with Kev. As Paul Beattie continues to lead this race, 2.4 seconds ahead of Kev Allen, but Simon Allen has lost ground. Maybe he's made a mistake, maybe he's just losing a little bit of pace. We don't know. We haven't seen anything on the cameras, but the reality is that Diogo Silva, we are on board with Diogo now here through the entrance of the Arrabbiata section. This is completely flat out here, but you need to be so ever careful with the line that you run through these corners, because any deviation from the ideal line will cost you dearly in terms of speed. And Diogo continues to put some pressure towards Simon, but not enough that he can actually challenge for an attack. In this circuit, as I said, is not very, very easy to pass cleanly. You just have to exit the last corner that Paul Beattie, your race leader, is now going through. And Paul Beattie has run wide. He's run wide in the last corner. Drama here at Mugello. Can he keep his position? The answer is no, he can't, because Kev Allen has passed him. And Kev Allen is your new leader now at the end of lap 4. Drama, Italian drama here at Mugello with the very, very surprising Paul Beattie. His pace in qualifying was absolute. Kev Allen has run wide as well. Kev Allen has run wide but recovered. But I was saying Paul Beattie, absolutely lightning pace in qualifying. Absolutely lightning pace on the first 4 laps of this race, but he has now made a mistake in the last corner. And can he come back to Kev, or has he permanently damaged his tires? We shall see, because we still have more than half of this race to go. And Paul Beattie is now just 1.4 seconds behind Kev Allen. Kev Allen, your championship leader right now. He already won 1 race. That was the 2nd race at the Red Bull Ring, and he's now again challenging for the win. Of course, he's the reigning champion. He's the championship leader. He's the one that everyone wants to beat. And now he's being pressurized again by Paul Beattie and by Simon Allen, who has recovered, and Paul Beattie has run wide. No, he's spun out again. He's made another mistake, and now here comes Simon Allen, or does he? Yes, he does. He's coming. Simon Allen into 2nd place. Can Diogo Silva get into 3rd place? We will see. Where is Diogo? He's on the inside. No, he's not quite on the inside of Paul. He's behind, but putting some pressure already. So Paul Beattie completely has his tires beaten up by 2 successive excursions to the dirt. And I wonder, and he's running wide again. He's running wide. 3 mistakes in the same lap. That's really what has damaged Paul Beattie's aspirations to win this race, and what a disaster for Paul. Paul is now in 4th place, and can he defend from Alonso Fonso, who is in 5th place? Diogo Silva now 3rd, continues to be behind Simon Allen, but he's now a little bit further behind, as we are now going to see what is happening outside of the top 4 pack. That is Frankie. Frankie is in 11th place, so he has lost some time. I don't think it was as a result of that incident we saw earlier, because I believe that was Scott Davely, and Scott is now on the grass, and in the barrier. Scott's in the barrier. He recovers. No, he doesn't recover, because he spins again, and this is what this circuit is, where this circuit is very, very tricky, because you just can't trust those curbs, and also when you run wide, you're very quickly going into the gravel or into what seems to be very, very slippery grass, which basically makes you spin in no time. Let's just reflect on what happened. Scott Davis is in 11th, so he has lost a position. Frankie is now in 10th, and they basically both lost time. We saw Scott Davely actually spin over here. Now we are seeing Jumbo go through that, basically the third S, like two successive corners, 90-degree corners, in this case to the right and then the left. So Scott has spun. We don't know what happened to Frankie, but he basically lost time as well, although he now recovered a little bit. And Jumbo is already throwing caution to the wind there, because he is already to make it 3 successive corners. He's just running wide, and not only he's losing time, he's just setting himself up for a spin, or something even worse, hitting the barrier. He is trying to tame this very difficult car. He's in 9th place, which is not really too bad considering where he started, but he's really trying to put some pressure unsuccessfully on Stuart Brand. Stuart doing a nice job there, not the greatest qualifying from Stuart, but now a nice race into 8th place. That's some solid effort there by Stuart Brand. A bit of a disappointment in round 1 in both the races at the Red Bull Ring, but now he's showing what he can do with a more powerful car here at Mugello. He's certainly running very nicely in 8th place. Let's see if he can defend from Jumbo. Here he is, Stuart, in that number 4 French color car, which seems to be very popular among them. Stuart Brand has run wide. He has run wide, and that's an example of what I said. He just ran wide a little bit, and immediately you lose some traction or a lot of traction on some of your wheels, and off you go. He's now in 9th place. So Jumbo has managed to pass him, but he's still ahead of Frankie and a few other drivers as well. So let's see what Stuart can do in the remaining second half of this race. We are going to check what's happening at the front in the leaderboard, and what has happened is, as you would expect, Kev Allen has checked out from Simon Allen 4.2 seconds, whilst Diogo Silva is still a second and a half behind Simon. Alonso Fonso is up to 4th, so something must have happened to Paul Beattie, and again the cameras missed the key action with the pole position man. We don't know what happened, but what we can see in the leaderboard is that not only Paul has lost yet another position, he's also lost contact with the top 4, because he's now 10 seconds behind Alonso Fonso, and actually Diogo Almeida is within a second, well, make it almost 2 seconds gap to him. So maybe we still have a battle here for 5th place. Let's see. The only real battles on the track at the moment seem to be, well, this one that we are following for sure. That's Jumbo and Stuart Brand. Jumbo has around a second advantage over Stuart, so this is not all over, also because Jumbo has run wide at the first Arrabbiata. Here comes Stuart Brand. Oh, but he has also run wide now at the second Arrabbiata. All sorts of challenges happening to these drivers as tire wear becomes an issue now at this late stage of the race. But as I was saying, there aren't really a lot of battles in the field. Diogo Silva is in 3rd, but he's now lost a bit of time. He's basically 2 seconds behind Simon Allen. Alonso Fonso is 6 seconds adrift, and then big gap to Paul Beattie. We don't know what happened, but he's 10 seconds behind Alonso Fonso. Diogo Almeida is 2 seconds away from Paul. Darren Head has recovered nicely. Again, discreet but very, very solid effort from Darren as usual, as he actually has managed to recover a lot of ground that he could find himself even challenging. And there's a problem for someone there, and it's Frankie. Frankie has had a problem and he's dropped to 11th. Maybe he just missed the gear or something else, but he has certainly slowed down on the main straight. And here came Scott Davely, now recovering some ground and regaining a position in the top 10 as we follow now Diogo Silva. who's in third place and not really gaining any ground whatsoever, by Simon Allen, who spins. Simon spins, and this is very, very tricky at the exit of the S. This is very, very, very tricky around this circuit, and Diogo Silva has already benefited from a mistake by Paul Beattie. Now he has taken advantage of a mistake, very rare mistake by Simon Allen, who has dropped to third. And can he avoid dropping to fourth? I think he might just do it, because Alonso Afonso is now within, what is this, 2 seconds. I think that he will survive. And the crash! Stuart Brand has hit the back of Jambo. What a disaster for Stuart. He's just running backwards. A lot of bad luck in this race. I think Jambo just ran wide and was rejoining the track, but at very, very slow speed, and really put himself in the ideal line, and Stuart had absolutely nowhere to go. It was either hitting Jambo or going off the track, and he ended up doing both. So very, very unlucky for Stuart Brand. He's now in, well, he continues to be ninth. He was ninth, but I think he's lost some ground in the process. Yes, he does. He has, because he was only a couple of seconds behind Jambo. Now he's 4 or 5 seconds behind. So very, very disastrous race for Stuart Brand. At least he's 3 seconds ahead of Scott Davely, but we still have a couple of laps to go, as Darren Head now reaches Diogo Almeida, but can't really find a way to a position where he can challenge Diogo. He's been basically stable. The gap has been stable at around, well, at the moment it's a couple of seconds, and I think this is what a lot of the drivers are finding, is that even if you are faster, you don't necessarily have the ability to run very close to the car in front, and I think we're seeing a lot of that, where drivers that have more or less the same pace just basically keep following one another for lap after lap, and well, that's not exactly close racing. We cannot have close racing in every race, although we still have a very competitive race, if not close, in OFR-PS4. Very, very close qualifying performances, and here in the race you can see the fastest lap. Kev Allen and Simon Allen are in the mid Kev Allen and Diogo Silva are in the mid 136. Simon Allen is slightly faster, 136.18, but then you can see 136.6 for Alonso Afonso, 136 flat, so very, very fast pace from Paul Beattie, although not very consistent. Then Diogo Almeida. Was almost calling him Pierre Gasly, because he's the GAS there. Again in the mid-36s, so pretty much the top drivers there, I mean, at least the top 7 are basically within 1 second of each other, so that's really, really competitive pace in the OFR-PS4. So any mistake is really costly, as Paul Beattie, or pole position man, found out here in race 1. As we are approaching the final stages of this race, Kev Allen must be very close to starting his final lap and achieving the second win in 4 races. And again, he is the reigning champion, and he's already running away with 2 wins in 4 races if he can actually materialize this victory here at Mugello race 1. And really, can anyone stop him in this championship? Of course, the new point system make it a bit easier for other drivers to be in close distance, but still Kev has been very consistent. He's made a mistake in race 1 of the Red Bull Ring, finished 4th because of that mistake, a spin in the last corner with the Mitsubishi Lancer, but after that he's just dominated race 2, and he's again with such a glorious performance here in race 1 that I'm not sure really how competitive this championship is going to be if Kev Allen just keeps winning race after race. He's entered the last lap. Simon Allen is trying to put some pressure in Diogo Silva, but he's still 2.5 seconds behind him, or 2 seconds now behind him, so he's getting a bit of ground, but he's basically just now running out of time, really, as we follow Kev Allen He's got the number 1 Audi, and he's going to be number 1 here at Mugello race 1. And he's won a race in round 1, and now he's won race 1 of round 2 with car number 1. And here comes he in the last corner. He is going to take the checkered flag, and Kev Allen is your winner in race 1 here at Mugello. Kev Allen takes the win. Diogo Silva comes in second place. That's a nice result for him too. His best place, his best result of the season, and he is happy. He's waving and he is happy. And here comes Simon on third. A bit of a disappointment with that mistake. Fourth is Alonso Fonso. Good performance there by the Portuguese driver, turning out to be a very, very solid driver we had already seen at the Red Bull Ring. Pole position man, Paul Beatty. It's his first race of the season, ending with 5th place. Diogo Almeida is in 6th, and Darren Head disappointing to not get 6th, but at least he made a good recovery race after a relatively poor qualifying. Jumbo comes home in 8th. Stuart Brand is going to be 9th. Scott Davely is going to complete your top 10 with Frankie, Todd Antonio and Barry Evans completing the finishers here at round 1 of race 1 at Mugello. Everyone finished the race, which is always good to see. Look forward to the second race. I wonder if some of these drivers now, with the accumulated experience of this race, will manage to be a little bit more aggressive. Let's see what awaits. It has been a tense but not incredibly exciting race, and Kev Allen was the winner. Frankie now finishing the race in 11th place. He qualified a little bit better than that, so he's going to look forward to recover in the second race, which will follow immediately after this one. Here's confirmation of your result with the points as well. New IndyCar point system for this season, and we are now going to go to race 2. Stay with us.